Hey scientists, I'm going to show you how to complete your dream home final project for science. So you're already watching the video. Great job. Excuse me. As you are going through this video, I want you to make sure that you pause and do the work as you go through. Don't just watch this whole video all at once. I'll remind you to pause. Okay, so let's start. Slide number 2. Where will you build your dream home? So directions, move the star, here's the star, to the location on your map where you will build your dream home. So right now, press pause and do this. Okay, so wherever you moved, can simply undo that by pressing Control Z. Wherever you moved your star, you probably have reasons for why you chose that location. So down here, I want you to type what are the reasons. And these don't have to be like big long sentences. You can just say like flat land or strong rocks, something like that. Or maybe like low risk of landslide. You're just writing kind of a part of a sentence. So go ahead, press pause, and write in your reasons right now. Right. So now the last step is to delete this box when you are done. What this might look like, this is my finished example version. I changed the fonts, I changed the background, and I also got rid of the yellow. You can see I moved my star. So press pause and make this slide look nice. Delete the yellow, delete the directions. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Now you're going to do reason 1. So this is copy and paste reason 1 from slide 2. So you're going to go ahead and go back to slide 2. You're going to copy and paste this reason and put it here. Press pause and do that right now. Okay, so now you have your title. Now, let's say your reason was about landslides. You're going to want to start by putting a graph or a map about landslides here. And it says all graphs, this should say and maps. And maps are on slides 8 through 15. So you want to scroll down here. Here's 8. I see the number here. And you want to find the graph or map about landslides. Here, it's this one. So you would copy this map and paste it here. I would resize it so it fits. So that's for landslides. You have a data table about earthquakes, a map about the fault lines. Here's a zoomed in one as well. We just did landslides. Here's a wildfire map, Oakland climate data, the geologic map of Oakland. And then this is just the backup info in case you forgot what the colors meant. So for whatever your reason, you want to pick the map that goes with that reason. If you're talking about earthquakes, you might pick this data table or you might pick this map. Once you have your source, you're then going to write about it. But let's press pause first. I want you to pick your source or your map. Make sure it's copy and pasted right here. Okay, now you're going to write 3 sentences about your graph or your map. The first sentence should have the graph or title of the map. If it's not on your graph, just go back to the slide it came from and look up here. That's where all the titles are. And you want to say what it shows. So what is it about? What's the trend or the pattern? Go ahead and fill in that sentence on your slide. All right, for sentence 2, you want to give some examples. Now, if you have this data table or if you have this graph, you need to give specific numbers. However, sometimes on the maps, there aren't specific numbers. So instead, you might just give examples or observations. Here is what that looks like on my final one. So I said in the map titled, and I put the title. I said what it shows. And then for my example, I talked about the risks on the graph, or sorry, on the map. So I said where there's medium and high risk. So go ahead right now and for your reason 1, write your 2 examples. What are 2 things you noticed or 2 numbers on the graph? Okay, great. Now for the last sentence, you're going to tie this into your dream home, right? So what does this graph or map show that gave you some information about where to build? Here's some sentence starters you could use. This is also the place where you want to show your science knowledge. So I said, for this reason, I chose to build my dream home in a flat area of Oakland, away from the hills with no risk of landslide. So that's an example of something you could type there. You're connecting the graph with your reason. You're explaining what does it show that matters to you. Go ahead and type your explanation. Make sure you press pause. All right. This was a slide with lots of directions. The good news is you're doing the same thing for reason 2. So for reason 2, this slide number 4, you're just going to go back to slide 2, copy your reason, and paste it right here. And then you're going to go through the same process. So if you need to hear the directions again, just rewind this video to when the directions for reason 1 start. This is a different reason, so you'll have a different graph or map for this one over here. And go ahead and press pause, finish your work, and then we'll go on to slide 5. All right, for slide 5, I actually want to see what your dream home looks like. So you should explain, what will your dream home have? There are some sentence starters here for you. And then go find pictures. You can do this by going to Google. You can also go to Insert Image and do it from here. Here's what my slide looks like when it's done. So again, I changed the font, I changed the background, and I have some pictures of what my dream home would look like. I explained what the pictures show and again, why that matters to me. Like I said, I want to have these nice outdoor spaces because I like to be outside. So go ahead and press pause and finish this slide. And now, are you done? It seems like we're getting to the end. There's a few things that you might need to do. So this image shows what I don't want to see in your completed version. I don't want to see this yellow background. All the yellow does is tell me where you should type, or tell you where you should type. Change that background. I don't want to see any more yellow. And you should also change the background of your slide to make it look professional and make it look personalized, like you worked on it, not me. And then last, go back and delete all the directions. So for example, once you finish typing on this slide, you can delete all of this and just keep your answer. Here's what that looks like in my final version. This is my reason slide. There's no directions left. There's no yellow anywhere. I even added some pictures in. And here's reason 2. I did the same thing. So go ahead and press pause. Make sure that your slides are professional. And the last step, you're going to grade yourself. So 5 means I did this completely. 4 means you mostly did it. 3, I did this sometimes. 2, I only included this a little. And 0, I did not do this. So you're going to click on the checks to move them into the boxes. Scientific language, I use scientific vocabulary words throughout my presentation. Scientific vocab words are just the words we've learned this last quarter. Here are some examples. Go ahead and move the check mark to where you think it goes. My reasons for choosing my location were clear and based on my scientific knowledge. I chose graphs. Don't you love how your teachers fix their mistakes in the moment? It's so great. Graphs or maps that supported my reasoning. Graph and map summary. I summarize my graph using the graph's title, trend, two examples, numbers or specific observations, and comparison language like lower or higher. I capitalize the title and put it in quotation marks. And last, presentation appearance. My presentation looks professional. I deleted all my directions. I made sure my presentation is neat and organized. I included pictures where I needed to and changed some of the fonts and slide background colors. So go ahead and press pause, grade yourself. Now, last, if you want to get really crazy, you can delete all of these slides. You don't need to do that. You now want to go back to Canvas. Actually, before Canvas. Did you share this with me already? Make sure you press that share button and type in your science teacher's name. Now you're going to go back to Canvas. After you've shared it, copy and paste that URL on top and submit your project. Congrats, y'all. If you follow these directions, you are done. Great work.